Hi everyone, welcome. Just before we even start, the wind's howling out there, so if it does come across quite strong, it is very strong. And excuse my groggy voice, I've just come out of 3 days without a voice, so Sam will probably be doing most of the talking today.
Well, I like that idea. I'll do the talking, you can start opening this beautiful bottle
Sure.
in front of us.
Sure.
For you who are familiar with Ernie, it's such a spectacular venue in the Cape Winelands, and lucky for us, it's almost on our front doorstep.
Well, I'm worried if there's someone that's not familiar with Ernie House. I mean, it's a household brand, yeah?
No, absolutely, but I'm talking about the winery as such, because remember, they've gone through this complete refurbishment, and you walk into the estate, it's already situated, like nestled between Stellenbosch Mountains and the Helderberg Mountains. And when you stop and you go into the estate, there's these massive boulders. That's just the whole architecture is designed around these boulders. And there's this grandiose entry when you walk in. So you kind of expect something great to wait for you. And you walk through this corridor, the staff is always immaculately dressed, welcoming you, and there's all these different nooks where you can go and nestle in, whether you want to, there's a tee off, what do you call it?
Tee off box.
A tee off box if you want to try your hand at a few golf balls, or a little library setting, and then you go into the restaurant. And specifically what we're focusing on today is that imported grill works. They've got such
You've actually saw it, right? I didn't have the opportunity to have a look at it. But
No, it's really impressive. I love to know where my meat comes from. I like to know where my wine comes from. And when you sit there, they've got these different aging rooms where you can go and see where they age the sirloin the rump and the T-bones. So it kind of brings you into this whole experience. And South Africans love meat, so it's quite a bit of a performance thing going on with that, and then serving a Cabernet Sauvignon from their major series, it kind of just goes hand in hand.
So yeah, although I haven't had the opportunity of tasting the 17 Cabernet Sauvignon, very familiar with the brand. I've tasted through most of their wines for a couple of vintages, but this is the first time I'm actually tasting this. I'm not sure if you tasted it at the property.
I've tasted it, and I wrote the article about it and why it goes so well with the culture or the tradition of braai in South African households. And it kind of, putting a wine like this, the braai can be so simple. It can be a few good, excellent chops, and then the wine just kind of takes center stage in this experience. People have this odd idea that they bring out cheaper wines for their for the braai, but you can.
Told you she was going to come now.
I'll quickly take her.
That's fine.
And
there goes my wife, and there goes Tula.
But I mean, that's a fallacy. You don't have to bring out your cheaper wines. You just have to bring out the best stemware and the best wines, and it can elevate the most simplest of braai experiences.
You missed the most important, the best company.
Well,
no?
Absolutely.
Take me through this wine, please, Sam. Like you say, you've written about it. You know it better than what I do.
Well, as you expect of a Cabernet Sauvignon, it is the king of grapes, as they like to call it. So there's an immediate density about the wine, but it's got 5 years or so in bottle. So, but you still have that incredible depth and intensity of color. So no loss of color or degradation of color there. No. The wine obviously tells you I'm made to age. And now that with that 5 years odd in bottle, it's developed that quintessential characteristics of Cabernet.
Sam, sorry. It's showing absolutely nothing on.
No, it's superb.
On
I love
color,
that.
right?
I love that.
And it's still got that ruby brilliance to it.
Yeah.
I'm interested. I'm interested to taste this one because we've just pulled the cork. Ideally, you'd like to decant it. I think it would benefit by decanting.
Yeah.
But let's taste it and let's see where we go from there.
Well, if I can, I'd like to know your opinion. But when I smell it, it's literally like crushed mulberries and blackberries and it's got that intensity of berry fruit, which I love. And only when you really hone in on the fruit, you will kind of detect all that little earthy nuances of a little bit of cedar, a little bit of graphite. But fruit is definitely the hero.
Absolutely, without a doubt. Fruit driven completely, but again, it's got that freshness to it. Pick up a powdery tannin, if that makes any sense. And there's something I wanted to ask you, and I'm sorry if I put you on the spot now, but what is the easiest way to distinguish between fruit tannin and wood tannin on the palate?
If you've got a Cabernet, if you've got a grape with a thick skin, obviously it's going to contribute to the color and to some kind of a astringency.
But on your palate, would the fruit tannin find it more prominent on your gums, or would that be the wood tannin?
To tell you the honest
Not
truth,
sure. I was thinking about it this afternoon.
I'm not really sure. I think if you pick up like almost like a fresh, almost like a stalky character, that can be if they use whole bunch.
Sure.
You get that more of a fresh lift
Sure.
from stalk and from skins.
Yeah.
And but you don't get that pippy
Gotcha.
of crushing a pip that's not ripe. That's got a bitterness to it. Where the tannins here have almost like a coating feeling in your mouth. Cabernet have quite profound tannins. If you have to run your tongue 2 or 3 times around your mouth, this is probably Cabernet.
Sure.
Because it's got that tannin. But the tannin is so well integrated over time in this wine that it's really shaping it. It's almost like when you bring out a sculpture out of the oven that's been baked and you're ready, then you kind of just smooth out the edges. I obviously started doing pottery.
No, but can I compare that to something else? Something's just come to mind now. I think of the tannin in this wine as a corset on a lady.
Exactly.
Yeah, the lady's got a beautiful body, but the corset just, and this is what the tannin does here. Yeah,
completely.
Right, and you can, although the wine's showing very little aging on the color, the fruit is there, the freshness is there. The grapes have not been over-extracted. There's no over-extraction in this wine, which just shows you the quality of the winemaking and the quality of the fruit.
There's enough crunchiness. There's enough unexpectedness. Giving it a slight what do you say? It's a rustic edge, without it being rustic. It's a polished wine. The tannins are polished, but there's still enough character left. It's not overly polished, if you know what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
No, I think it's a superb wine, and it's excellent value for money. It's like just over 200, 240 roundabout there.
And this wine will still go, Sam. I mean, it's 5 years old. This wine could go easily another 5-6 years, quite easily.
No, it's super.
So once again, like I always say, congratulations, Ernie. Congratulations to the winemaking team. Superb wine, superb brand. Definitely a property worth going to visit.
Yeah, it's a special place, and you have to experience the grill works. And but if the wind comes up like now, it is kind of in a nook between the mountains, so you get these unexpected blasts of summer winds. So there's always spaces to retreat to inside. Excellent menu, a simple menu, so that what they do and what they offer, they really do well.
And well-educated staff, which for me stands out.
Yeah, no, I love that.
Thank you very much. Cheers, everybody. Thanks, Willa.